NVidia, the world's largest AI corporation, is about to release their quarterly report this week, and every single time they do, AI tokens go on a roller coaster. So in this video, we have backtested what happened last time in the charts to determine what are AI tokens about to do in the future, and what I found shocked you because I have an AI token that might 5 to 10x over the next couple months. But first, let's go ahead and talk about NVIDIA. This is Jensen Huang. He is the founder of NVIDIA, and you notice he's at a Denny's right now. And that is because that's where he actually got his start. He used to clean toilets at Denny's and in fact founded the company with two buddies at a booth in the same Denny's over 30 years ago. But what's going to happen with the quarterly report? That is the big question here. Well, folks, I went to the last quarter. They consistently beat projections. Here you can see it end up popping about 10% after. The quarter before that, they end up shattering records, another huge pump for the stock. And if we start to look at the charts here, you'll notice they consistently beat what Wall Street expectations are. And here, this is just looking at the last 4 quarters. So this is what they projected, and then this is what they actually earned per share. And every single time, NVIDIA is just crushing estimates. But what does this mean for cryptocurrencies? And what is that sleeper pick that could do it 10x? Well, to figure that out, let's look at their next quarterly report. Now, they are expected to double their quarterly revenue to $28 billion. It's going out later on this week. So let's look at the charts and see, well, what happens every time they report? Well, I looked at the yellow lines here. This is their quarterly report hitting the street, and you can see pretty large candles compared to the candles around it. But we had a nice little pump, but then it went down after that report. That just kind of dumped immediately after the report before it bounced. And even this one, then we had a huge pump. So this quarterly report 4 quarters ago started with the pump, but then kind of headed down. This one kind of headed down, but then began a huge pump. This one also began a huge pump, and then this one also began a huge pump. So you can see they love to pump after the earnings, and we got an earnings report about to happen. But let's talk about the AI tokens. The first one we're going to look at is Fetch, and it is the next token that I'm going to say is going to do a 10x. We look here, I notice a little pattern. We trade sideways, and then we had a pump. Trade sideways, then we had a pump. Traded sideways after the quarterly report, and then we had a pump. Only one of the 4 times did it head down. But what about Render in NVIDIA's quarterly reports? I basically saw the same thing. We traded sideways, and we had a little bit of move to the upside, traded sideways, had a little pump, traded sideways, had a little pump, but then the most recent quarter, all AI tokens have basically been on a downward trajectory. But what is this 5-10x that he's talking about with Render? And then after that, I got 2 safer ecosystem plays that really more like a picks and shovels play if you want to get an AI cryptocurrency. Now I noticed 2 things that are spelling out a huge pump for Render. The first thing I'm looking at, so we can't help but notice there's some nice pumps, and the first pump was about 1,000%. You can see about 1,000% gain right there. It took about a year though. The next pumps, they start happening a little bit faster. After that, we had a pretty nice pump of about 7, almost 800%, and I'm expecting another pump of about 800%. And when you see the number, you're gonna feel a little bullish, everybody. We're talking about close to a $30 Render, folks. Now, that's not the only thing calling. All right, so we pumped in the past, we're gonna pump in the future. No, it is a lot more detailed to that. And the second indicator that's saying we have a $30 Render coming is the fib extension tool. So we're gonna go ahead and use that. We're gonna go from the swing high to the swing low. That is how you measure this. And so from here to about right there, you can see we hit the 2618 almost perfectly right there. That was our first place of a major resistance, never got to the 3618. So we hit the 2618, ran out of gas. Well, folks, this happens time and time again. Now we're going to use this swing high to this swing low. And when we draw that, well, you'll see that we hit that 2618 almost perfectly again. So we hit the 2618 2 times. And for the third time, we're going to go from this swing high to this swing low. And folks, I can't help but notice we just keep hitting the same points over and over again. If we hit the 2618, that is going to give us about a $32 Render. And so I'm really expecting Render to be able to move up to places people aren't expecting it to hit. AI tokens, when they're on a run, those things move faster than Jesse Owens in his prime. Because folks, when this thing moves, it's going to leave everyone in the dust. Now let's talk about 2 safer, I would say, ecosystem plays when it comes to crypto and AI tokens. First one is going to be Polkadot. Polkadot's got a lot of upgrades lately, and they just have a giant ecosystem. We go ahead and hit refresh. I want to know what the prices are doing. A little bit flatter. The markets are down today, and you can just see protocol after protocol, project after project, building on Polkadot. Polkadot. They're doing tons of stuff with their Jam paper upgrade, and it's going to help, be equivalent to Ethereum 2.0. So there's a lot of exciting things happening there. When it comes to AI, it's an attempt to make it more welcoming to developers, easier to build on, easier to maintain dApps, and easier to integrate smart contracts. AI agents are going to be speaking to each other so quickly, you're going to need something hyper efficient, hyper fast. With their XCM, stands for cross-chain messaging system, I can see Polkadot being a huge guardrail, foundation block for AI tokens. The second one I would highlight would be Near protocol. You look, they're way down from their all-time high. It was around $20. You can get it for less than $5 right now. Polkadot's a similar situation. It was above $50. You can get it below $5 right now. So both of those are looking at close to 10x's. And Near, they are leaning into the AI roadmap. They're hiring AI engineers. So they're going to be a strong AI contender. So I would look out for Near. I would look out for Dot. I think they're going to be pretty big in the ecosystem. But Render, what I'm seeing in the charts just has me insanely bullish. I really think it does have a path to $30. You see it just pump and pump and pump. You see it keep hitting that 2618. I think it's going to do it again in the future. If you're bullish on AI tokens and you want your favorite AI token in the next AI video, let me know down below what AI token should we be throwing in. We'll make sure we cover it at least on the live stream, folks. And that's all I got. I'm DZ, and I'll see you and your robot overlord army at the top.